Yeah, we're here to talk about this jail art exhibit. How did this project develop and begin in the infant stages?
Well, it's called Universe Space. And once upon a time, about a little over a year ago, I called up Charlie and I said, can we do a mural together at the Hamilton County Jail? Because Charlie was already having a ministry there, and Mark Making was interested in working with a new population, inmates. So we called Charlie, and what happened?
I was very excited about the opportunity to have a chance to use my talents and giftings in the art field with inmates. I've been at the Hamilton County Jail for about 15 years as a volunteer chaplain. So I've been trying to figure out how I could get an art class or something in the jail for some years now. But, of course, we didn't have any type of finances or any resources to make that happen. So when Francis called me, I was very much interested in it.
Charlie, your background's in art, but you're a volunteer chaplain at the jail?
Yes, I've been a minister for around 20 years. I've been a pastor for about 8 years. So I've been in the jail for around 15 years. So it's something that's dear to my heart, working with those men at the jail, trying to see what we can do to help change lives in a positive way.
And Mark Making, you do, like you said, you do art projects with different populations, different groups.
Exactly. Our mission is to serve and transform underserved populations through the creation of public art projects. So we work with children, teens, and underserved adults, and we really, really wanted to work with inmates. From everything that we've read about other art projects in jails, it's very helpful and can actually impact the recidivism rate for inmates who are re-entering society. We wanted to give it a whirl, and as Charlie said, funding's always an issue, so we wrote a grant to the Tennessee Arts Commission, who funded this piece.
And what's exciting about it is that the art process itself has a healing quality to it. And I was interested in seeing how the art itself and how the classes might be able to affect the inmates in a positive fashion. I want to also mention that there are many inmates at the jail who are artists. They have abilities, but somehow their life just went in the wrong direction. And this was an opportunity to kind of tweak their interest again in the arts.
And you've worked with inmates before, but was this the first time you actually get to work with their artistic side?
The first time. Now, over 20 years, inmates would bring me their artwork and as a gift.
Now, the mural is really interesting. For me, I really am interested in space and infinity and galaxies. And this mural's got exploding stars, supernovas.
Right.
Why the universe? Why this kind of galaxial theme? And it's very interesting because you have inmates that are in this very small space.
Yes, right. Well, in coming up with the theme and the vision for this, it was sort of perplexing in the beginning because, even though I'm a Christian ministry, now you have inmates who are Muslim, some are atheists, some agnostic, you have everybody in there. And so it was a challenge to try to find a theme that anyone could identify with and try to find a theme that would not send the inmates' minds in the wrong directions. I was thinking about, what would be universal? and that word, universal. Wait a minute, universe. That's something that we all have in common. We all live in a specific place, and it's all aspiring to think about where we are in this big, vast universe.
If you're just tuning in, I'm talking to Charlie Newton, artist and chaplain at the Hamilton County Jail, and Francis McDonald, the founder of Mark Making. Mark Making is an organization which promotes public art within underserved communities. Both Charlie and Francis teamed with 12 inmates to create a mural inside the Hamilton County Jail. The mural is called Universe Space and features artistic renditions of planets, stars, black holes, and other cosmic imagery. The mural is currently on display at the Hamilton County Chattanooga Courts building lobby. And the room, it was actually in the jail. Describe what that room was. Was it a classroom?
It's a classroom that GED classes are taught in there. Some ministries are taught in there. And it's on the 4th floor of the Hamilton County Jail. So when you go up, you have to walk past many cell blocks to get to this space that's at the end of a hallway. It's sort of like back by itself. And And so that room, it can become claustrophobic. I've taught classes in that room before. And you get 25 inmates in there, and it's crowded, you know. On the very first day, I was excited, and I thought, well, this thing may actually work. When one of the inmates, after about 45 minutes to an hour of working, a little Hispanic inmate said for the first time, and he wasn't prompted by anybody. He just said, for the first time in 4 months, I forgot that I was in jail.
Wow. And how long did it take to actually finish the mural?
I believe,
it was an 11-week program.
Yes, 11 weeks. A few extra days of going in and, you know, tweaking things. I think it was a pretty quick mural.
What were the actual measurements? Do you know the measurements of the mural?
400 feet by about, I would say, 12 feet.
It's about 400, I want to say about 600 square feet.
So how many walls? If
Two.
2 walls.
Yes.
in the classroom. Since Charlie, you are a volunteer at the jail, have you seen the effect this art has done maybe on the jail?
I was just in the jail last night, as a matter of fact, and a couple of inmates was talking to me about the mural and everything. So I expect to see long-term effects. Certain programs they'll have in that room. So far, everything is positive, not just from the inmates, but also from the officers. A couple of officers also patted me on the back last night about the piece, and so everything's all good. Everything's positive so far.
So possibilities of maybe more art in the jail?
Yes, the interesting thing was, well, we had the support of the sheriff's office was phenomenal, and Lieutenant Coppinger and Chaplain Waters in the jail were very, very helpful about making sure we had everything we needed. And beyond that, and more importantly, I thought working with that population was fabulous and very, very special. And it's because if they're not in that class, they're going to be sitting in their cell by themselves. It's also kind of a social hour, even though they don't really talk because we don't let them talk about other stuff. But they're at least together in a space doing something different, which is way better than sitting in a cell by yourself. So what happens is because it's such a privilege, they tend to be very engaged and very respectful. And I really have to say, and I was the only female in there, that I've never felt so respected, and that level of respect and their level of engagement and following instructions and coming out with something because they followed that instructions. That, to me, that makes a perfect group to work with. And the fact that there was so much natural talent there that, yeah, we're arranging to have other just normal art classes without the goal of a mural.
An art program at the jail would be very beneficial because there are many inmates who have that ability but never knew that their talent was worth anything. And another positive thing about the art classes is that they get a chance to come into a place where you can sort of like tell them how to think, in a sense. You know, let's think positive now. Because in their cells, you know, you may have 13 men in there with them, and they're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. They're going to, you know, all kinds of things are going on negative. But now you can come to a place that's quiet, that's not normal. The normal cell, the lockup, the block, you know, it's very noisy all day and all night long. So there's a lot of emotional and nervous pressure on each inmate. But to bring the men into a place of meditation where they can turn themselves inward and then explore who they are, you know, through making marks or painting or drawing, is a powerful thing. And I believe it's a life-changing thing. I've seen so many people's lives change by their making something. So I think it's an awesome thing, and I hope that Francis can get all the support that's necessary to make that happen and to be a permanent part of the jail. It's something that's very needed at the Hamilton County Jail.
That was an interview with artist Charlie Newton and Francis McDonald of Mark Making about the new mural inside the Hamilton County Jail. The mural is called Universe Space, and it's currently on display at the Hamilton County Chattanooga Courts building lobby until May 3rd. For more information on the mural, you can visit markmaking.org. For WUTC, I'm Garrett Crow.